Good morning, my lovelies. This is Paisley, and I have morning musings on my way to work today. Because, yes, even I have a real job. It's all good. Excuse me. So, there's a quote that comes to mind from a very famous play by a very, very famous author. It's, "To thine own self be true." I hope you recognize it. Anyways, one of the hardest things I think we have to do as pagans, actually as people, is be true to ourselves. I just straight up be true to who you are. If that means you want to be a teacher, then find a way to teach. You don't have to teach in school. You can teach other ways. Or if you feel you are a leader, well, take some leadership classes and find a way to be a leader within your community or your circle, group, cove, garden, grove, etc. Find a way to lead. If you feel called to inspire people, then find a way to inspire them. It's just a matter of finding your own path, just like I am, and still being true to yourself. Don't allow the world to force yourself to compromise too much. Now, that will happen occasionally because, sometimes we have to give and take. We have to allow ourselves to learn on our journey, and sometimes we haven't learned the required lessons yet to be that true to ourselves as we want to be. So if you feel called to do a particular thing, then research it. Do the steps and find out what it is you need to accomplish to do those things, whatever it is. So on that note, I feel very compelled to help people. I like to help. It's not that significant on the surface, but yet how often do you encounter people who do need help in your day-to-day life without knowing them personally? And what do you do to help those people? So I am now listed on Witchfox, which is cool, as Paisley Wild, which is me, and so is my local group that I'm trying to get started. We've got a meeting coming up here in a couple weeks. Kind of a place or a group more to socialize and come together and learn from one another rather than a formal coven. So it'll be more like a circle. And I'm excited about that. We are the Esoteric Elements on Facebook. Or you can message me, Paisley Wild, on Facebook, and I'll connect you. Or my Facebook page, The Spaces Between. So yes, all of that. You find me and I'll help you connect with the group online. Because it is set to private. That way we don't have quite as many trolls. Because they are out there. But part of the reason why I decided to go ahead and move forward and register on Witchbox, and the Universal Church, whatever, has ordained me to do weddings and baptisms and that kind of thing, which is cool. So I can do hand fastings. I'm officially certified for that. But more, the reason why I felt compelled to do this is because here a couple months back I had to go to the emergency room. My blood pressure was high because life. And when I was in and had to go through the registration process, the registrar comes up and she's like, "Hey, so what's your name, your birth date, etc., 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 and then what's your faith?" And I said pagan, which was kind of funny because my husband was with me, and he laughed. He thought it was hilarious that I just straight up said pagan and jumped out of the closet like that. But that's who I am. And I got to thinking, in a rural community such as the one I live in, here in North Idaho, there's not a lot of registered pagans. So for those that are in the midst of a medical emergency and they need guidance or clergy person, who do they call upon? And while I'm not currently a high priestess, I haven't gone through any training to do so or to become one. It's more, I feel compelled to put my journey out there, so that's part of my path. And I'm willing to help people be the guide, I suppose, because sometimes we just need to talk to someone who believes as we do when we're having some sort of medical emergency. So yes, there I am. I am now registered with my local community to help people, to guide them should they have a medical emergency and they need a pagan, a registered pagan, I guess, to help them. And I felt called to do that. I felt it was important to do that and to contribute in that fashion to my community, just like working with my friend Black Tree, who will be working with me to set up the esoteric elements. And I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be good. I want it to be a place of learning, an exchange of knowledge and ideas, not necessarily, we're going to meet every Saturday at 6, bring your broom. Although maybe we will end up doing that. I don't know exactly. We will be meeting, I think it's the 19th at 3 p.m. at the Starbucks in Ponderay. So if you're local, please come join us. If you're not local, we're going to start putting more content out on the Facebook page and just for guidance, for instruction and teaching. And if you have a lesson you would like to teach and you're local, please join us. Let us know. We would love to have you. Other than that, I don't know. It's just a way for me to be true to myself, which is hugely important. It really is. I mean, oh goodness, that's what I get for driving down the road and doing a YouTube video. Random rock flying around. So when we compromise ourselves and we are not true to ourselves, we often feel bitter or angry or dissatisfied with where we are in life. And so I guess my challenge to you is to sit back and look at your life and what you're doing and some of the challenges that you face and some of the people you encounter, and what is it that you are compromising within yourself constantly to do what you're doing. So in a way, those in the broom closet are definitely compromising themselves to still have their faith, their belief, without letting their immediate family know who they are at their core. And I get it. I have a very judgmental family, and if I was completely out of the pagan closet to all of my family, it would be difficult. Very, very difficult. And I personally am not ready for that challenge. Not yet. Now, that being said, I am significantly further out of the pantry or pagan pantry broom closet today than I was, say, a year ago. And so as we grow, that which we compromise becomes less tolerable, or we find other ways to express ourselves. And that's okay. Just remember to be true to yourself. Don't break any laws doing it. I'm not telling you to do that. But, accept that, you will have to compromise occasionally, because that's part of being a contributing member of society and a whole person. You can't have it your way all the time. Life is not Burger King. And it's, if you acknowledge that you're trying to be true to yourself, that you're trying to make those steps. I think one of the very first steps I did was I reached out to my friend Deb Varner, who is Purple Mystic Readings on Facebook, and asked for a little guidance. What should I do? And in talking to her, there's certain stones I carry with me regularly just for protection and guidance, and literally as a touchstone to help me to stay upon my path, and it's really helped. Oh my gosh. So there are people around you that will help you to find your path, or find the way for you to not be compromising yourself all the time or completely. Let yourself enjoy being a pagan in other ways. And remember, you don't have to be out there in bold print with neon lights to be a good pagan. Often we are very subtle, just as Mother Nature is very subtle. For anybody who has ever watched the leaves come out on the trees in the spring, it's not a process that happens overnight or immediately. It takes days. It starts in late January, early February here in the Pacific Northwest. And even now, here it is almost the middle of May, and some of our trees still don't have leaves. They're starting to green slightly, but that's just part of the process. So remember, you can let yourself out a little bit and still be true to yourself, but you don't have to hurt others in the process, yourself or anyone else. So, to thine own self be true. It's just my morning musings on my way to work. And this is Paisley, so I sure hope you do like what I have to say. And if you do, hit the thumbs up. Make sure you hit the subscribe. And if you want to know when I have new videos coming out, by all means, make sure you click on that little bell, and you'll be notified. And I love reading your comments below, so please comment if what I have to say has any meaning to you. And I will be live tomorrow night on Truth Frequency Radio at 11 p.m. Pacific time, and we are going to be talking about wands and staffs and the meaning behind the different woods, and just a few other things that I want to touch on, because hey, it's my show and I can do what I want, right? Within reason. So have a great Thursday, and I will talk to you tomorrow on the spaces between, and you can hear me on Truth Frequency Radio or iHeart Live. We'll talk to you soon.